Hello again. Those viewers who have been commuters in London or even travelled frequently on the underground there will know that it is sometimes difficult to know where to look, especially if the train is crowded. Of course, at one time people used to hide behind their newspapers, and many now stare at mobile telephones. Speaking for myself, I never travel anywhere without at least one or two books, so I'm all right. What about those poor wretches, though, who have nothing to look at? They might read the advertisements which are placed above the windows in the carriages in tube trains, or perhaps study the map and try and work out how many stops until they reach their destination. Inevitably, we sometimes find ourselves looking at other people sitting nearby. Ha! Not so fast. Don't you realise that you are now committing a criminal offence and the person at whom you are looking would be quite justified in dialing 999? Shame on you. And no, this really isn't a joke. I'm sure that many of us have noticed the number of new laws which have been passed in the last 10 or 20 years. Laws which do anything from making it a crime to have your grandmother go round for Christmas dinner or to make jokes about sex changes. The latest of these mad and wholly unnecessary laws is one which makes sexual staring on the London Underground an offence. In the thumbnail to this video I show a poster on the tube which alerts us to this new crime and advises people to ring 999 if they are a victim of staring. No, it's not yet April the 1st, although viewers might be forgiven for thinking I'm making all this up. It appears that staring is a form of sexual harassment, and as such is to be stamped out on the London Underground. I have no idea how one would prove to a court that staring was motivated by a desire to harass, rather than merely being short-sighted, but there you are. I'm famously bad with faces, and I've even passed my own wife in the street and not recognised her because she's bought some new clothes. So I sometimes have to look hard at people to be sure of who they are. A deplorable habit which will presumably land me in the police courts before long. I'm not at all keen on new laws because we already have plenty to deal with every real situation which might arise. They are sufficient to cope with stealing, rape, murder, arson and all the other bad things which people might do, and I really don't see the need for new ones in general. The introduction of hate speech and religiously motivated crimes, for example, ends up with a man being taken to court for teaching his dog to give a Sieg Heil salute like Hitler and then sticking a video of the animal doing this on YouTube. Yes, I'm afraid that would be an offence under the Communications Act, which was grossly offensive because it was anti-Semitic and racist in nature and aggravated by religious prejudice. I give a link to this case in the description to this video. Anybody else think that the police and courts might have better things to do with their time, like dealing with burglars and murderers and so on? I honestly can't imagine how evidence will be gathered and presented in court of somebody staring on a tube train and then the proof that this was sexual staring with intention to cause harassment. One sometimes wonders if the whole world has gone mad or if perhaps it is just you as an individual. I see so many things of this kind lately that everybody else just seems to take as a matter of course. It must be me perhaps getting old that I find all this utterly weird.